Uh, Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vladimir Smal. I'm head of sales and procurement in global messaging at Telecom. For those of you who doesn't know Lang, we're an international voice and SMS carrier. We've been in the telecom business for more than 20 years. Recently, we've been also very much focused on anti-fraud solutions in both voice and SMS. And we also started our journey in mobile services and roaming solutions. So yeah, as Vida mentioned, I will be a moderator today. And we have 4 panelists. I would like to name them. So first is Emrah Yorulmaz, Global Account Manager at AMS IX. Then we have James Alderdice, Vice President at Link Global. Hello, James. We have Dmitry Sumin, Head of Products at AB Handshake. And we also have Tungeshbek Batalhanov, CEO at TNS Plus. I think it would be right now to give a word to each of the panelists to introduce themselves and tell a few words about their companies and what they are doing.
Thank you, Vladimir. Hello, everyone. I'm Emrah Yorulmaz. I work for Amsterdam Internet Exchange, which is one of the biggest internet exchanges in the world. We have almost 900 connected networks all over the world with a peak traffic of 11 terabit per second traffic. I'm a global account manager in AMSIX, so I'm responsible for our customers and partners all around the world. Happy to be here with you and looking forward to talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Vladimir. I'm James Alderdice from Link Global. Look, the mobile phone has been a transformative device, and mobile communications has been a transformative service for humankind. But we should ask ourselves, why is only 10% of the planet having mobile coverage? Meaning that there are over 1 billion people who experience mobile phone disconnectivity at any one time. People who live in or work in places that coverage doesn't exist, where rural and remote communities where they share SIM cards in certain households because they don't have coverage in that location, and there are many countries where mobile coverage is incomplete. In fact, the vast majority of countries, mobile coverage is incomplete, and the reason is because areas of low population density do not generate an economic return for putting down mobile base stations. So our solution to this issue for humanity is to put the mobile base station into satellites. And we are in the process of rolling out a global low Earth orbit constellation that will allow phones to connect to the network without the user intervening when those phones can't reach the terrestrial mobile network that we're all used to using. So whenever you're in a place beyond the network, your phone will continue to have connectivity. So this is a network that's rolling out right now, and we believe that, you know, given the interest in 5G is waning, this is the next big revenue stream for mobile operators and for the mobile ecosystem in general. We are talking about billions of people having improved service as a result. So we think this is the next big thing, and happy to share with you how this will be transformative during this session. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Dmitry Sumin. I'm head of products IB Handshake. We are providing anti-fraud services for over 100 operators around the world, and also providing our kind of headliner service is the ability to validate inbound and outbound voice and SMS traffic directly with the source or destination operator in real time.
Hello, welcome to Almaty. My name is Tungush. It's easier to present because TNS Plus, it's pure wholesale operator in Kazakhstan. We have only 4 services: rent of channel, internet services, traffic termination, voice traffic termination, A2P services. It's very clear, very easy. What about TNS Plus? I think we are biggest wholesale operator in Kazakhstan. Yeah? I agree. Second. And the biggest assets, it's fiber optic. We have 40,000 kilometers of fiber optic everywhere in Kazakhstan. Also, we have a point of presence in Frankfurt, in Hong Kong, in Moscow. Also, we have 10 global international company in Dubai. Yeah, because now we are focusing on transit of traffic.
All right, thank you very much to our panelists. So the topic today is telecom wholesale industry in the digital transformation era. I think there is no question that digital transformation is happening. During the COVID, a lot of changes happened and a lot of investment was made. The businesses changed the way they do their business a lot. And of course, it required a work from many IT and telecom companies to support this transition. So now we are within the new wave of COVID, but it's not the same. We are here offline. So I think the disposition is a bit different. So what do you think, gentlemen, what are the current challenges and what are the new opportunities that the marketplace can offer for the wholesale industry? Emrah, what is your opinion on that?
Thank you again. So before coming to this, actually, if you look at the past, so we all started with using the papers. So in the past, whenever a contract is required, we were just printing out and then writing and then signing and keeping it in a room. So a pile of papers everywhere. But with the digitalization, we start using the documents, online documents. And even now we are using the online signatures, electronic signatures. So we don't have the papers anymore. I mean, we have, but compared to past, we don't have that much. Instead of it, we have huge traffic, both local and internet traffic. And as a result, for example, we start using more Microsoft Office tools like Word, Excel, and other tools. And we started keeping the contracts online and then keeping them first in our servers, in our offices. But then we had more files, and then with the technological developments and more digitalization, we start using virtual servers, which increase the traffic again further. And as a result, we started having more data traffic, more fiber optic cables, more developed DWDM equipments, more internet. And as a result, for example, from AMSIC side, we have more internet traffic. And with the digitalization, we start developing more products like cloud access, because nowadays, almost all of the companies, we use Office tools and we use cloud a lot, like Microsoft, Google, AWS, and others. And to reach those securely and fast, it's becoming more and more critical. And having a direct connection provides, of course, better, more secure and faster connection. And with the digitalization, we launched it and we start selling it to our customers on top of their existing peering connections. And we are looking forward to launching more services with the digitalization and with more internet data and so on. So that's, I can start with this for the digitalization and the effects, actually.
Thank you very much, Emrah. Dmitry, would you like to also share your opinion on the challenges and opportunities that are currently available in the market?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, I think, as always, the opportunities are the challenges, because on the one hand, yes, there's an increasing number of services that telcos are providing to the customers. On the other hand, it's a growing, the number of services grows, the number of procedures which are, let's say, inbuilt which Japan has to support is growing. And of course, each procedure can lead to certain, if it's not handled properly, it can lead to certain losses, to certain, well, revenue leakages and things like that. So there's really an increasing increasing demand from the operators to streamline the procedures, to streamline these processes, and to look closely at where revenue can be saved, where losses can be avoided. And of course, this is still kind of pressures the existing revenue insurance teams, because they have to kind of understand more procedures, more and more procedures. So they have to, of course, they cannot do manually the things they used to do before, because like creating manual procedure to kind of check whether they have some kind of lost revenue for hundreds of processes, that's not kind of possible anymore. So there's really a growing demand for automation of these things. So services for the operators, which do allow them to efficiently tackle what are the financial results actually that they get from providing the services. So a new opportunity, a new service is always good, but you also have to kind of to earn something for that and avoid some losses. So I think that's what the operators are closely looking at right now.
All right. Thank you. Tungish, would you like to add something? I think you are here the most close to operator company somehow. So maybe you can also share the vision from mobile operative perspective. What are the challenges currently? And what are the opportunities?
I highlight I'm wholesale operator. Yeah. It can be ridiculous, yeah, how to wholesale operate to use a digital topic. I think for digital agenda, I think two main factors. Pandemic, as you said, yes, it's very trendy. It's fashionable topic now. Of course, it's market, it's customer, main factor. Second, the technology. Also the third, in our case, third, it's shareholders.
Sorry? Shareholders.
Shareholders, yeah. What is 10S Plus? 10S Plus, it's a joint venture company, and we have two shareholders. First of all, it's Vion Group. Have you heard Vion?
I'm sure everybody heard about Vion.
I think it's the most digital company in the world. Yeah, and they have some also digital agenda. Also, I think they good achieve the results in digital ecosystem, let's say. And our second shareholder is Dar Ecosystem. It's a local investor who is working in some digital agenda also. Yeah, and have to say we are mandatory to develop our digital agenda. Yeah. And first of all, we are focusing on customer. Yeah? Customer obsessed, customer oriented our agenda. We have created some tools which our partners can monitor their network, their capacity, their utilization, etc. Also, we changed all our internal procedure, as you highlighted. So we are pure paperless office, nothing. Yeah, we have not seen paper last 2 years, I think. Except Russian partners. Except Russian partners. Because in Kazakhstan, we have DocuSign, DocuLite software, always Kazakhstani partner, even with Kazakh Telecom, yeah, we signed by the online system. Of course, pandemic helped us to use a remote system of working. Yeah? I think it's the best social packet for our employees to work remotely. And also we have some agenda, but I stop now.
All right, thank you. James, so you are representing a company that is pretty new in the market, and the business that you are doing is not something we talk a lot during GCCM, I would say. So I think it's a good time now for you maybe to share a bit more about your specific project, and why do you think that this is a good idea to do that now? Like and how what are your current challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're also a wholesaler working only with mobile operators on a country by country basis. We ask ourselves two questions. One is why shouldn't the urban subscriber when they go off the beaten track to the jungle, go hiking in the mountains, go out on their boat, why should they not have access to mobile and digital services? Maybe if they want to have a time off, they can turn their phone off, but when they need to communicate, why shouldn't they have that ability to communicate? as well as the people I already mentioned, the most disenfranchised on a connectivity basis. Those people living in remote communities, remote islands, farms that are without connectivity. Why shouldn't they have access to mobile connectivity, irrespective of where they live and work? And so this is really about improving economic prosperity in each nation, as well as increasing safety. And you know, every other day you hear the situations of people getting into bad situations in remote places, unable to call or message for help. And so this is changing right as we speak. We're heading towards our initial commercial service launch at the end of this year. We have contracts with mobile operators signed, commercial contracts signed to launch this service across 35 countries. And those contracts are increasing week by week. And the operators are viewing this as a roaming service. So it's a roaming service that's like no other. You know, it's domestic. It allows subscribers to have additional connectivity within their own country, but also outside their country when they're going on a maybe a faraway holiday and doing an adventure. They will continue to have connectivity under roaming arrangements. So very similar to what you have when you travel internationally today. That's all for now.
Okay, great. So I think it's a good start for our next question, which is about technologies. So obviously what you offer is new technology and a new investment. So what other investment and into new technologies is happening right now? Dmitry, would you like to share some of the recent investment that had been available in the market?
Yeah, sure. Well, from our point of view, from what we do, is we see that nowadays there's a growing demand from subscribers of services to be in control actually of how people enterprise communicate them. So it's kind of like a high demand for privacy, for knowing who gets your personal information. So and the operators have to cater for that. So we see that there's also from, let's say, the operator side, there's a growing demand not only to, let's say, have security and fraud management services for the operator to protect themselves, but also to render such services to customers, to enterprise customers, but also for private customers. So it's like security as a service, or even privacy as a service. We see that surely on the data side with emerging services like VPNs and things like that. Also, we see that on the voice side, because people are tired of robocalling, people are tired of, well, let's say, SMS scams. And of course, operators, they are forced to be in the middle of this stream, because, well, the transport for these frauds, they're just mobile and wholesale operators. So they have to protect themselves, but you also have to provide this insurance and protection to the customers, and sometimes as a separate service.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a very important part to protect the end user. Tungish, what about your company? What do you do in that area? What were your recent investments in terms of new technologies?
Mm-hmm. The main question: do we need this new technologies, this type of digitalization? Yeah. My personal opinion. First of all, it's business case. You know, all digital stream of business is all mobile operator in Kazakhstan are not profitable. Some of them declared some 20% of marginality. I don't believe it, because it's why they invest, because a huge investment for that. I think it's question of evaluation of company. Yeah, it's question of evaluation, because now in telecom industry, multiplicator it's 3 or 4. If you're digital company, it became 10 or 15. I don't know. Yeah? It's question of evaluation. Also, it's fashionable topic, as I said before. Yeah? About 10S plus, we are looking into this topic also, because we are vote for evaluation our company. you started to do. About investment, as I know, we are in discussion with your company about some solution. Yeah, we are looking into all solution which can help us in terms of quality, in terms of security, in terms of some options for our customers. Yeah, because for 10S Plus, the biggest differentiator advantage is quality. Yeah, we are not very cheap, to be honest, but we are good quality. Yeah, of course, to achieve this good quality, we need some solutions, digital solutions. But I think it's evaluation of company.
Great, thank you, Emrah. So, from your perspective, from the companies that is busy in data and internet, in IP peering, what were the recent technologies that been evolved during last years of the digital transformation?
So on this topic, I want to share two things. As AM6, one of our core topic is innovation. Therefore, every year we have an agenda, we have a plan for innovation, and we work on it. In the Netherlands, for example, we are part of AMDEX project, which is Amsterdam Data Exchange, because for the moment we have internet exchange for peering, for internet peering, but now data is becoming more important, and getting the raw data is getting more important, but sharing it's a big question mark because of the privacy, because of the regulations. Therefore, in the Netherlands now we are with other parties working on AMDEX, Amsterdam Data Exchange. And apart from that, we are also working on other projects as part of our innovation strategy in the company. But also on the existing business side, as AM6, we are investing in our infrastructure a lot. As you have seen during pandemic, the internet traffic goes really up, and we were really lucky that most of the wholesale providers and internet service providers, internet exchange, we were all ready for high data demand, and I can see that it was managed very well. You know, the internet traffic, it just skyrocketed during pandemic because we were all at home. We were using our internet for work, for entertainment, for gaming, for Netflix, for other tools. Therefore, it went up rapidly. And as part of it, our strong infrastructure in AM6, we managed it very well, and we reached almost 11 terabit per second traffic. And in order to further develop our infrastructure, we are working on providing 400 gig ports. So for the moment, we have some customers who are getting more than 1 terabit port capacity, but they get it on 100 gig port. But with this new installation on our equipments, they will be getting 400 gig ports. So let's say if a customer at the moment, if they want to get 1 terabit data, then they need to have 10 times 100 gig ports. But with this, they will need 2 times or 3 times 400 gig ports, and then they will have the whole capacity. So we are investing a lot on our infrastructure, thanks to AM6, and thanks to company. They're investing a lot on our colleagues, on us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the topic of data consumption is, I think, a very important part of the digital transition. Tungesh, so your company, as you said, like the core business for you is data. So the usage of data has skyrocketed, as Emrah mentioned, during the COVID period. But what do you see now? Like, is it still growing? What is your current impression on the bandwidths and needs for the business? Will it continue to grow, and how rapidly will it continue to grow? What is your opinion?
Fortunately, it's growing, but not as in COVID period, because in COVID period I remember in Beeline for the FTTP services, they increased their database, they doubled. They doubled during 1 month in April. Yeah? You can imagine which rocket sharply is growing. Yeah? But now, of course, it's not, but it's growing. Because, you know, TNS Plus is the main internet provider in Central Asia region. Yeah? Our neighbors, as Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, is also growing, I think, double-digit number year to year. I think it's good. It's good, but no in terms of money, in terms of utilization of internet. I hope, because I think, no, I'm not a marketing specialist, but I think it's depend on smartphone penetration, yeah, some penetration of some digital services, etc., etc. But in this country, in our region, it's growing. It's growing, especially, for example, it's not achieved 100% of penetration. I think it's good time to invest to develop internet services now. About my forecast, I think it's still maximum 2 years. 2 years. After that, it will be saturated. Yeah, I think it will be as a developed country in Europe. Yeah. But now 2 years, I think it's good opportunity for us, for wholesale operator now in this region.
Unless something else is happening in the world, like COVID, right? We never know.
Yeah. But I think we achieve the peak of that, of this factor.
Now we are more prepared to that, right? I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So another fancy topic which is well connected to data consumption is IoT. So let's maybe discuss this one as well. James, what do you think? What is the current trend and what is the prospect of IoT consumption in the coming years?
Well, IoT has certainly been a quite a hot topic the past few years, and is continuing to evolve. And our role in that is to, I guess, in 2 ways. One is to allow IoT to function in any geography, no matter how remote. And again, from the end of this year, we'll be able to connect an IoT device from any location in the world back to to connect it back to the network. And so in our early iteration of our service, we see IoT being as a strong driver of interest. The other aspect is that many operators are looking to sunset their 3G networks at the moment. Also some 2G, but definitely 3G is being sunsetted to maximize spectrum resources. And many of those operators have tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of IoT devices in the field that would be very costly to replace up to a 4G service. So we are able to support those legacy IoT devices without the operator needing to replace them, without the operator needing to do anything to their network. So that's also very helpful for accelerating the sunsetting of 3G networks.
All right, thank you. So yeah, digitalization helped a lot to develop the technologies that enable companies to do everything remotely, to do to avoid physical SIM cards or physical devices, or a need to come to internet exchange center physically and cross connect the cables, etc. And I think the usage of cloud services has also increased a lot over the last year. So Emrah, how do you see this part of digital transformation? Will it continue to evolve? Will it still be growing in the next coming years? What is your take on it?
Thank you. Well, the short answer is yes, definitely. Because, yeah, like we heard from Tungish and from our other friends, the traffic will be increasing absolutely, because the penetration will increase. So more people will be using internet on their mobile phones, on their smartphones, and then the traffic will increase. Then we have new projects reaching out to the rural areas more. Then people will use more smartphones, they will use more data, and then it will increase. Then we have other technological developments like AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, now metaverse is the trending topic. So with all of those, the traffic will be increasing significantly. And on top of it, we will be using a lot of data virtually. And if you look at the big cloud providers, they are now laying out their own submarine cables, like Facebook, Microsoft, Google. They are building out their own data centers, laying out their own fiber optic network. Google, for example, in the US, they are building their own network since, I don't know, for a long time. And they are making huge investments for the submarine cables, because those guys, they see the traffic will be increasing. It won't stop. And there will be more and more, because IoT, because AI, because more penetration, because reaching out to rural areas, and in CIS region, especially in the developing markets. Because if you look at the US, the North America, like US, Canada, and then especially Central and Western Europe, the market is saturated but still growing. But if you look at the developing markets, CIS, North Africa, Middle East, Southeast Asia, the traffic is, the percentage is really high, and we expect to grow it further. And as part of it, as AM6, we are launching new internet exchanges around the world, because we started this journey in Amsterdam about 30 years ago, and then we launched other internet exchanges all around the world. We have 2 internet exchanges in the US, in Chicago and Bay Area, one in Caribbean in Curacao, one we launched in Egypt, in Cairo, with our partner Telecom Egypt, another one in Middle East with Batelco in Manama. Singapore, we recently launched, Hong Kong again. India, we have 5, so we'll be launching more, because so that's the result of the actually digitalization and more data. When you have more data, the localization is increasing, because so we use the internet a lot for our daily lives. For example, we use it for car sharing tools. You know, in Amsterdam, I have those applications. You just go to car next to the car, and then you just click, okay, open the door, and then the data goes to the, the central data center, gets the command, and then opens the door, comes back. In order to provide this lowest latency, you should localize the data. And so we will be seeing this more as well. But in a nutshell, I would say the data, it will be increasing, and this will be pushing all of the ecosystem players to do more and to invest more and to develop further.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I think it's pretty clear to everyone that the usage of data and internet will continue to grow. But what about voice and messaging? I cannot skip this part, because I'm representing a company that is doing a lot of business in this area. What is the role of voice and messaging, and what is the perspectives of those businesses within the digital transformation? Anybody wants to? James, would you like to?
Well, look, our global network will start off as a messaging network. And so whilst I think it's fair to say that every operator is seeing a decline in SMS usage, when you're a subscriber and the only connectivity you have initially is SMS, you're going to use it. So this is going to drive some SMS traffic. I can't give you really how much at this stage, but it will drive SMS traffic. We are talking about hundreds of millions of subscribers in this situation of taking connectivity directly from our satellites. and not just SMS. I mean, it'll also be an IP messaging network as well. So there'll be traffic generated in that way too.
All right, great. Tungish, would you like to add something?
First of all, about A2P SMS. Yeah. Now, for 10S Plus is one of the sharp growing business stream of revenue. It's 3 times year to year. Because we are new, we're in this business only second year. Yeah, I think it's for us it's a new point of growing. It's big moves and a future for us. About voice traffic termination. Yeah, of course we know the trend in Kazakhstan. It's decreasing 20% year to year, except this year.
Except what?
This year.
This year, okay.
2022. Of course.
What is difference with this year?
First of all, it's political factors. You know, in Kazakhstan in January we have events. Yeah.
Not like this one.
Events everywhere in Kazakhstan. Internet was blocked. Yeah. And voice traffic termination, it was how to say,
skyrocketed.
like even a pure SMS peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
Peer-to-peer. I think it's growing. Internet was blocked during 3 or 4 days. Yeah, our traffic increased by, I don't know, 30 times. Yeah. Of course, recently also some events in Uzbekistan with Karakalpakstan. Also, we can observe very big growth. What does it mean? Traffic termination SMS, I think, is as a hygienic factor. It's first needs in some extreme situation, which can happen in our countries. Yeah? And in terms of for this year, especially for 10S Plus, because we are increasing our market share in transit of voice traffic, not terminated to Kazakhstan, in other countries, yeah? And we keep the same level in voice traffic termination. What does it mean? It's also quite huge stream of business for us, I think, for Lang Telecom and for others, because voice traffic is quality. Yeah, we have this perception is quality. It's expensive, more expensive, but it's quality. I think for some high value segment, it will be still needs.
Yeah, totally agree. Like voice and messaging it is still there, and then it's important to still have ability and provide the ability for the businesses to use it and for people to get access when it's needed. And you mentioned the situation in the beginning of the year in Kazakhstan, but I remember last year Facebook had issues with their service, and then like the voice traffic also increased, and SMS P2P, as you said, as well. So it's important to keep the infrastructure and to enable people to use it when it's necessary. But I think another thing about that is that since recently the voice traffic has international voice traffic has changed a bit in their profile. So there's more like A2P voice traffic. I mean that there will be more like enterprises using voice channel to reach their customers. And of course, there is more and more fraud, as what we see recently in this area, because as you mentioned, it's a good area of good streams of revenue, right? So Dmitry, how do you see it from the company that is very much focused on fraud solutions? Like, what can you offer to solve this issue?
Yeah, exactly. So I do agree that voice and messaging, they are still remain critical for especially businesses, for enterprise customers, because that's actually the main usage probably of this channel. Because yes, people on a personal level, they are more open, they are less conservative, but businesses are always conservative. So they use proven channels, they use proven and technologies. So of course, yes, we do have, I think the majority of our requests from from our clients is in this or that way related to frauds, fraud types that are linked with this enterprise usage. So that can be illegal marketing, so that's robocalling. That can be different types of PBX hacks, because a business, if it's a non-telecom business, they do still have some telecom infrastructure. They do not necessarily know how to operate that properly, hence the weak passwords, which are easy to overcome. So yes, there's a lot of related problems. So yes, we cope that on a number of levels. So first of all, of course, they're kind of more traditional methods. So we provide AI-based services that help operators to detect such leakages, to detect, well, such problems in their networks, in the networks of their clients in real time. Also, we are moving. I think an important also trend that we've seen in the recent years is communication between operators. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of a business must be efficient. And operators are really looking to run the operations more efficiently. And it's always easier to look for problems and to try to solve them together, because each member of the community kind of invests less own efforts, but together they actually achieve the same efficiency. So what we're also doing now is providing the operators the opportunity to communicate in real time to detect such fraud cases, because once you have the vision of the problem from both sides, it's quite easy to detect and to detect fraud cases. And also it's easy not to, on the other side, it's easier not to do any false blocking, because on the other hand, you want to protect your customer. On the other hand, you do not want to disconnect actual valued calls, because if you start overprotecting them and actually preventing them from making calls, well, that's not good. So I think our focus is not only to help the operators detect fraudulent behavior, but also to accurately block only fraudulent calls without denying the service to legitimate customers.
All right, thank you. So to wrap up with the data topic, I think the only thing we missed is 5G. So Emrah, you mentioned to me, like in our conversation, that you've been involved into some research, or you've been at some other conference where this topic was discussed. So can you share some recent updates on the development and the launch on 5G?
Well, before 5G, actually, I have some also comments about SMS and voice. So for voice, well, at the beginning, with the mobile 1G, 2G, the traffic was going every year up and up. But nowadays, of course, it's going down, because we all use the mobile applications, WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat in China. Therefore, people prefer to use internet instead of traditional voice. And in the high connectivity countries, I would say the quality is also good. I mean, in the Netherlands, for example, we use WhatsApp and the quality is really good. Even sometimes the traditional voice is not that good, You can just connect the Wi-Fi and then you can just have a WhatsApp call with a friend without any connection, without any disconnection. But if you do with the traditional voice, then it's not that good quality. But on the other hand, if you look at the whole world, in Africa especially, the traffic is still a lot of people there using the traditional voice instead of internet, because the speed there, the internet speed is not that high and the latency is huge. And it's similar in some other regions as well. Therefore, the voice traffic is going down, okay, but still, since the volume is high, still there is a lot of business there to do. And I expect this business to stay longer than expected. And for the SMS, with the digitalization again, with the 3G especially, we said, okay, SMS will go down, and then most probably with 4G, we will be using WhatsApp and other tools. So there won't be any SMS. But if you look at today's market, the A2P SMS, it's huge, You just book an online reservation and buy our flight tickets, and then you just get your reservation via SMS for confirmation on top of your email confirmation. So this is a good one. And on the other hand, in addition to this, actually, so there are two-factor authentications, because we spend a lot of time on internet, and now internet is becoming more fragile every year, and there needs to be some protection in order to protect our data and ourselves. Therefore, we see two-factor authentications. Again, you try to log in something and then you get the SMS and then you have your code on it, and then you just put it on the application and then you start using it. For example, here I start using the Yandex taxi app again, and then so yeah, I put my mobile number, I got the SMS with the password, put it in the application and start using it. Therefore, with SMS, I think we'll be using more, and it will be more used in the coming years because there will be more applications in the market. So now back to 5G. There are a lot of things going on around 5G, as you can imagine, and especially with the high-speed internet, there will be a lot of technological developments. Like hopefully in the future, a professor, let's say from Australia, he will be managing an operation in a hospital in Kazakhstan with this 5G technology with the robots, because he will be there using the joystick and then doing the precise, the operation with this high-speed internet with 5G. And so more data again, more internet, high-speed internet.
Thank you very much. So the time of our session is coming to an end. Maybe we have some questions from the audience. Okay, if not, then I think we need to give some last words to everyone on the topic that we discussed today. So gentlemen, what would you say, which area is the best for investment for the next years? Like, give it just a few words on what do you think about? Tungish, starting from your side.
Not invest for 10 years plus for this year, maybe for next year. We will fulfill our digital agenda. Yeah, about fintech. It's not trendy. I think it's because I'm not investor. I don't have enough knowledge to recommend something, but I invested in some e-learning program. I don't know why, but
In what? Sorry.
Some online learning program.
Online learning.
I don't know why, because for me it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I don't know why. To be honest, it's my one-off idea.
All right, thank you. So, what are the areas for investment?
Yeah, well, actually, I think banking of actually what was mentioned earlier. I think one of the critical areas for investment will be still security, because it's one thing when you have a customer who has a bad phone call. Well, that's upsetting, but actually the customer will remain alive. If you have a customer who's for whom we have an operation which is managed remotely from Australia, now if something happens with the connection at that point, that will be a huge problem. So actually, with more and more gadgets being connected to the internet, or with virtually all your household, your car being somewhat connected, actually the price for any security breach for the operator will be huge, and the consequence for the customer will be huge. So all the service providers would have to invest growing amounts, of course, into security of the services and quality of services they are providing.
All right, thank you. James?
Oh, look, in terms of investment, we're currently having a capital raise to support our network rollout. But from a mobile operator point of view, our mission is to help manage the CapEx and OpEx of those operators for the edge of their network. So where they find it difficult to justify putting down mobile base stations, cell towers, where these locations in many countries are supported by government subsidies, so by taxpayer money. We believe that this money can be better deployed in other areas, because we will be able to deliver that connectivity in a much more economical way than exists currently. So that's our take on the investment side.
Thank you. Emrah.
From AMSIC side, so we have different investments actually. I mean, we are investing in the company, but we are investing the technology a lot. And like I said before, Amdex, for example, Amsterdam Data Exchange, we are investing on it, and we are working with our other partners in order to have this platform so different stakeholders can exchange data. It's not like internet data, but like real user data or the data from Internet of Things. In terms of staying with the regulations, so you don't share the end user data, but you share the process data. And that's one thing. Another thing is we invest on new internet exchanges around the world, because at the end of the day, as AMSIX, we are a non-profit association and we want internet to develop all around the world. And so we are investing with our partners and we are developing new ecosystems, new internet exchanges. The latest one we launched in Singapore, for example, in Egypt again, and more will be coming. And finally, we are investing on our infrastructure and on our customers. So enterprise customers, they are becoming more and more important with the digitalization. Normally in the past, we didn't have any relations with them because for us, the customers were the ISPs, the wholesalers and so on. But enterprise now, it's the hot topic and we are developing new value propositions for them. And of course, technology, 400 gig connection, and hopefully in the future with more capacity. So with a single cross connect in the future, the companies, they will be getting terabits of second internet traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. So I think that's it for today. Thank you everyone for coming to listen us. Thank you to Kerry community for suggesting the topic. I think it was pretty interesting, and we covered most of the areas of the digital transformation. So thanks again, and have a nice rest of the day, guys.